Hello.
Eric, how you doing? Dominic Gibbs from K-Steel.
I'm alright.
Yeah, good man.
What's going on, man?
Okay, so we thought we'd catch up with Eric Olsen today. We are trying to get Kevin Mullen in on the interview, Eric, but we're having a little bit of difficulty just getting him to reply to messages and answer phone calls. So we thought we'd just...
asleep?
Sorry?
Is he asleep? It's like 1:30 in the afternoon over there.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's 10 to 2 here. You'd be more likely to be asleep. Time is it there?
Yes.
10 to 9?
It's 8:49 now. Normally I'm up a lot earlier for work, but I was going in later today because I thought that it was 1:30 for me, so 8:30 for you guys. So
Right.
Last night I stayed up like running and training, and then I took some sleeping pills to get to bed, but I'm up.
So it's messed you about a little bit. The time zone is creating
A little bit.
issues.
Now I go to work after this,
Oh, okay.
so it's all right. I'm glad to be speaking with you guys.
Cool. So there's been a lot of stuff online. We thought we'd try and get you two guys together, but obviously we've just failed on getting Kevin's side of things. So we'll just have a chat with you, Eric.
It's all right.
All
right, cool.
Everything's obviously gone online. It's hotting up in terms of fight talk. As a promoter, that's great. You know, people are starting to talk about this fight. Do you want to give us your take on the fight?
Yeah, I'll give you my take on it. Kevin's a good fighter. If you look at I've watched a bunch of his fights. Obviously, everyone sends me. I don't try to watch too many opponents' fights because then you can build up a false sense of security because nobody's going to do everything twice. You know what I'm saying? But I've looked at some of the stuff that I've gotten shown. He knows how to fight. He's good. He's bigger than me too. I think he's like 6'2". I'm 6 foot. But I asked for a hard fight. I don't want to fly all the way to England to fight a nobody. So I like what I see. I want to fight good guys. I've done it over here a bunch. I've fought a bunch of people that are undefeated. Fought people all over the world. So to me, it's nothing new. I like going into a situation, the stereotypical underdog. I do better, in my opinion, than when I'm complacent with everyone expecting me to win or cheering for me. That kind of takes the fun out of it for me. So I think he's
Sorry, from everything we've seen, it does look like you quite like being the pantomime villain.
I love it. Yeah, even over here when I fight, I don't fight too much over here anymore because, I have so much and I'd just rather fight all over the world. If I can go to England and fight, that's a lot cooler than fighting out here on the island or Manhattan. I got to drive and get stuck in traffic for 2 hours to go fight in Manhattan. Who cares? Or I could go to England. That actually is like cool, you know? So, he's cool. I think for MMA, he's a little limited. I think he's a real good striker. And that's not knocking English MMA, but I think that he needs a ground game, and he's going to see that on the 14th. Not to say I'm a ground fighter, but I can do it better than a lot of people, I feel, in England. But I can stand and strike, too, so I think the fight will be really entertaining for fans, especially because a lot of fans want to see me get, my head knocked off. But they're supposed to. That's what they're supposed to do. Be little cheerleaders and cry when I knock out their boy.
Yeah, you've obviously come up, not just, obviously Kevin's been quite low key on the social media front, but his fans have certainly jumped in. I know you've had your fans going, but he's had a lot of fans jumping in on the conversations, and you've sort of...
I think I got 2 fans. What was it over here talking? A few people in England haven't said anything. They've just messaged me privately. Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to make it clear from the jump. To me, fighting is fighting. I don't have to like or dislike my opponent. I actually like him from what I've seen of him. There's no personal dislike. I'm not going in there all angry, built up. I think he's a good fighter, and I have nothing against him. Of course, I'm going in confident of my abilities. Any fighter should. You're not going to walk into a cage looking at the ground, acting like you're going to lose. We're supposed to both think we're going to win. But it happens in every fight, and I fight constantly over in England with the bare knuckle. So I'm always getting the fans of the opponent getting a little hysterical behind it. I think it's funny. I like it. I like delivering what I say I can do, and I always do. Even if I lose, I'll put on a toe-to-toe war. You're not going to see me bow out and tap or get laid down from a punch or a kick. No, I eat it and I come forward, and if I don't come forward, I'm slipping and returning. So I think people will be pleasantly surprised, even those people that want to see me get like killed.
There was a mention that you raised there early on in the fight announcement, was to do with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu over in England, and the States being far ahead. Is that something that you feel will be significant in this fight?
Actually, no, not with jiu-jitsu, because I'm not really into jiu-jitsu. I'm more into wrestling, Greco-Roman and freestyle. I like to come forward and lift you off your feet and slam you upside down on your shoulders and head. What I meant was the grappling in general. So when I've been over in England before, I've rolled with, they call it rolling, or sparred MMA with some active MMA fighters that are amateur high level. And it's not, again, insulting anyone personally, but the fundamentals of Greco-Roman and freestyle wrestling, double legs, single legs, suplexes, arm drags, all that stuff from in close combat or from firing punches was pretty far behind, in the sense, like, I grew up wrestling and boxing. So in first grade, we're doing freestyle and Greco-Roman training here, and we're wrestling in tournaments every weekend. And I'm not saying I'm any great Division I college wrestler, because I'm not, but I did it 1st to 10th and did it pretty serious. So the guys I train with now, active Bellator fighter Kenny Foster, Anthony Giacchina, some ex-UFC guys and some current UFC guys, Gian Vellante I sparred with years ago. Like, everything here in America is geared towards that wrestler mentality.
Yeah.
So if you go into MMA, even to spar over here, you're going to get picked up and slammed, and then you're probably going to get choked out if you don't have an understanding, and the sparring is kind of useless for you if you can't at least block something. So I think in England a lot of emphasis is put on striking, and you see that in Kevin's fights, in my opinion, and he's high level. He wants to punch, elbow, knee, kick. It's kind of like a Thai fight with MMA gloves on. Yeah. And for all he knows, I might stand there and do that with him too, because I'm not scared of his striking. But I can pick him up if I want and throw him all over the place like I'm some troll from the Lord of the Rings.
It's certainly going to be an interesting fight, and I'm pretty sure that the atmosphere is going to be quite electric, and there may be obviously a few boos for you, Eric. So, you know.
Oh, that's good. It's going to be. No, listen. My job is to, fight and fight well, and I also want the fans to be engaged. So I like all the back and forth. I just wanted to make it known that there's no it's not like a disrespect thing to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether I beat him fast or soon or later on in the fight, he's got my respect, and there's not going to be any, not shaking hands or any disrespectful stuff like that. No, we're getting in. We're in a cage. We're going to punch and kick each other in the face and the body. So, you develop a bond with somebody after you do that on some level. But like I said, I like to hype things up a little bit, and I fully believe that I'm going to give him and his fans a little upset.
Well, that's cool. We can obviously see that you do enjoy that side of it, but you're also saying that you do believe in your ability, and you do believe that you will create some kind of upset.
I have a lot of fights.
Yeah. A lot of experience. So
I don't know how many fights he has as a total, but if you count my amateur record, I think I'm a little older than him too. I've got about 72 fights altogether, from here to England to Thailand, and most of those are stand-up, from amateur boxing out here. And there's only 3 or 4 places in America, by the way, that boxing counts. New York, and not upstate New York. Mike Tyson was the only one from the Catskills who knew how to box. New York, the island, Brooklyn, Bronx, all that. New Jersey, Detroit, and Philly. And I'm from the island, so the places I'm going, the gyms I'm boxing in are gyms that are legit and known. We call them kill you gyms. You go in there, especially if you're a kickboxer or an MMA guy, and you're not known in the boxing scene, they try to behead you. So if I can hang with those people, I'm not really worried about anyone striking with me. I mean, I've done it all over the world. But like I said, I feel I bring more to the table in terms of more weapons to use. And as far as toughness goes, you got to either knock me out or choke me unconscious or rip an arm off. And I don't see him doing that.
Cool. So, are you going to keep the hype up online? Are you going to settle down at some point? Or you just like to keep it going right up to fight day?
No, I I like to keep it going around to fight day because it's something to focus on. It makes me, you know, it becomes my singular purpose when I'm matched with somebody. It's quite literally the only thing I think about. So even like last night, I was at the gym training for a while, not with anybody, just doing bag work, shadow boxing, and then I got home and I went running. And now I'm up bright and early here.
Yeah.
Kevin, you're not. Kevin, you got me up extra early. I'm telling you now, Kevin, whether you beat me or not, which I don't think you're gonna, I will get one single or double leg in, and I'm picking you up. Little firemen's carry you around that cage and slam you on it for making me get up as early and you're not talking with me.
Right, cool.
I was waiting to hear the Bradford accent. One of my last opponents was from Bradford. I can't understand nothing they say.
Well, listen, thank you so much for getting up early and speaking to us. Have a great day at work.